We were extremely fortunate to have the respected China expert Zhang Ling, author of Dreams, as our Terra-Cotta Warriors museum guide.
First, I'm the first person to establish the money raising for this museum. Because in the past, you couldn't imagine Chinese government in the past, once you say somebody will donate some money to the museum, then the government will think that's a kind of losing face. What? We need money from you, from private people. They think it's even that they lacked the money for the further excavation, but still they insist on refusing. But nowadays, such kind of their concepts totally changed. More and more strong influence from the Western country, especially for those that's a big director of the different big museum. Once they've been staying outside, working for some time in the foreign museums, they realized the importance of raising money. Actually, National Geographic, one of our tours, maybe about 5 years ago, I think, Jimmy, he is the president of Annenberg Foundation. So he also joined our tour at National Geographic, like you. And after that tour, so we established the relationship. He was the first foreigner to invest, to donate the money to the Terra-Cotta Museum. Yeah. First of all, I want to show you the picture on this page. Since 1997, I've been volunteer for doing a lot of that translation work for the Terra-Cotta Museum, as well as another museum in our city. But Terra-Cotta Museum I did the most. And wherever you pass by the information boards inside the 3 pits today, and I can let you know, that's that's every piece. That's what I did in the past years. So all volunteer. So on this book, English translated book, that's what I helped museum to do early in the year 2002. And when the museum asked me to do the English translation, this book, same book, also has the different kinds of languages. Chinese is a major one, English, Japanese, Spanish, German, etc. So when they asked me to do that, I only requested I need to edit the pictures by myself. Because why? To be accordance with my English translation. I couldn't translate the Chinese, then basic Chinese their formation, one sentence by sentence. Otherwise, this book will be 10 times thick, this thick. So on this page, I particularly edited 2 pictures, Emperor Qing and the Great Wall. So you're arriving in Xi'an, you're going to see the Terra-Cotta soldiers very soon. I want to let you know, it was the same guide, same emperor, who created 2 great wonders, Great Wall and the Terra-Cotta soldiers. This emperor, he was born in 259 BC. And when he was about, later I'm sure the director will give you more information. Emperor Qing, after he ascended the throne, when he was about 22 years old, he started to govern the country by himself. At that time, China was not unified. It was separated into 7 ducal lords. And he spent about 15 years. That's he's 38 years old. And he unified the country. And all the previous kings before the Emperor Qing, they all buried alive their soldiers, their army soldiers. But of course, those previous kings, the scale of the army was very, very small. Not like Emperor's army. From the historical writing, we could get to know Emperor Qing, when he established his army, he selected all their biggest young guys, healthy guys from different parts of the country. How many? About 8,000 soldiers to be composed into this strong army. So, relying on the strong army, he annexed successfully the other 6 ducal lords, one after the other. And this is another reason, after his unification, Emperor Qing wanted to bury the survived soldiers. Why we say survived soldiers? During the last 15 years before his unification, a lot of soldiers in his army, they died in the battles, in the wars. So, Emperor Qing, when he unified the country, in his army, very small number of the army still were alive. So Emperor Qing, on one side, he wanted to do the same as the previous kings. On the other side, he wanted to show his great love on the survived soldiers. So after thinking over and over, finally, he got to one smart idea. This is a very rich area, local area, rich for clay. Clay is a very special material for such kind of big statue sculpture. So this is the reason, and for him, finally, to order the Terra-Cotta Warriors and horses to be made. So this is the emperor, and who created the 2 great wonders. Of course, even his Terra-Cotta army, still, it's kind of symbol, like the real army, for protecting him, protecting this underground empire. How big is his mausoleum? I'll show you another picture. 1980, 20 meters western foot of these burial mounds. Archaeologists discovered out one pit for housing the 2 bronze chariots and horses. We haven't opened any about these 2. Probably some people will read information about the Emperor Qing. You will get to know something made of mercury inside his tomb. And inside his tomb was even luxurious. It is. These kinds of the recording was from one of the books, the historical records written by Sima Qian. He's a very well known historian in the early Han Dynasty, which is just after the Qing. So in his book, he wrote like this way inside Emperor Qing's tomb, so luxurious, in the ceiling. And all the sun, the moon, these kinds of celestial bodies, including the stars, were represented by the big pearls, jadeite pieces, agate pieces, different kinds of beautiful precious stones in different colors. In the floor, the 2 rivers in China, these 2 rivers are symbolizing the entire territory of our country. Yangtze River in the south, Yellow River in the north. Both of these 2 rivers are starting from the western end of China, Himalaya mountain. And then one passes north, the other passes south. So these 2 rivers were ordered to be made of mercury, symbolizing water floating. I told you that the director who's going to meet us soon, he spent his 8 years for the restoration of the 2 bronze chariots and horses. First carriage, named the leading carriage for guiding the way for the seconds. If we say the Terra-Cotta Warriors and horses, they were symbolizing the army soldiers, royal guards. And these 2 bronze chariots and horses are symbolizing the deluxe sedan for taking Emperor's soul to go on inspection. Why? For his soul. Because once we are going to pass by the 2 showcases, I want everybody will see these 2 bronze chariots and horses are quite small. Actually, it is a half size of the real carriage 2200 years ago. Because the main material for these 2 sets were made of bronze, not clay. So due to the metallurgical making problem, so they were modeled after the real carriages in half size. But they were modeled after the real carriages. The mechanism is almost the same making as 2,000 years ago.